my friends, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me for day 10 of our 13 days of Halloween series here at Polly's Paper Studio. If you're just joining in, you can find links for the first 9 days at the top of the description. And for today's project, I have been asked to join in with the folks at Whimsy Stamps to help them celebrate their 31 Nights of Halloween blog celebration. This is going to be an amazing event. They have lots of prizes. They have really amazing projects, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. And you can find links to Whimsy Stamps in the top of the description below. I will also link to the products I'm using. So we're going to create what I call a crossover craft. That is because I am getting to use my love of pattern paper and my newfound love of stamping and coloring and combine them to create this very fun and festive card. So stick with me and we will make this together. When Whimsy Stamps asked me to be the guest designer for October, I was like, yes, please. I love their stamps and I really love their holiday stamps. So I was able to choose some really cute Halloween images to work with, as well as sentiments. So let me show you the stamps that I picked to work with. This is Got Peepers. And it not only has really great line art images that you can stamp and color in, there are some that also do not need coloring. I've also picked up the You're My Boo sentiment set, and not only does this have a lot of fun, different fonts, different sizes for whatever project you're working on, but you can build your own sentences just by moving the words around. So you're going to be able to make a sentiment that works perfectly for your project. They also have a set of designer paper packs. These are a 6x6 double-sided, very nice thick pattern paper. I'm gonna use some of the patterns from this and save a little bit for my next project, but you will really enjoy the quality of this paper, and this scale works really well for cards. I'm creating a 6x6 card today, and I'm gonna use the patterns from that paper pack. They're going to be matted with black cardstock. This helps to add a little bit of separation between the pattern paper layers. So the next pattern I'm going to bring in is a spider web. This is just to break up a little bit of that background and give it a little extra detail without being busy, because it is not a very contrasting pattern. I wanted to create a fun background for my stamped images, so I took my paper meant to be used for coloring with alcohol markers, and I put down a layer of black soot with a ring of spice marmalade in the center, and that will be the halo around my moon that will be in the background. And then I also splattered it with just a little bit of water, dabbed that off, and then splattered it again with a very fine paintbrush dipped in watered down white acrylic paint. So now I've got a galaxy in the background, and I'm just going to add this. This is popped up on foam, so this is our first layer of dimension. For the center part of the moon, I took the same paper and inked it well with the spiced marmalade mixed with wild honey to get that variation in tone. And then I did a smooshing technique with the right persimmon. This is the oxide ink, so I was able to get a good layer on that with a little bit of mottling so it looks like craters on the moon. I put this on a separate piece of heavy cardstock because once I had all that moisture on there, it did want to get a little bendy, so I reinforced that with more sturdy cardstock. And I'm just adding that. See how the haze around the moon works with the inking process on the base layer. So here is our background, a little scene, if you will. I'm going to bring in also another piece of that pattern paper pack. This is a stripe. I just cut it to the width of my card and then easily notched out a dovetail on each side. And this will fit all the way across. I put this on a foam spacer as well. So we're going to continue to build up the depth here. I put a little bit of a twine around just to add texture. My two sentiments were stamped on my misty, and then I cut them out using my paper trimmer so that I could get nice straight edges, and then I notched the ends out again, same as I did with my stripe pattern here. I'm going to bring this all the way up to the border of my background piece. This sentiment will stand out much nicer on this white background and be an additional layering element because I've put those on my scrapbook adhesive foam tabs, so they're not quite as dimensional, but they do add a little bit of height between the background and the sentiment. Okay, so I got a couple of spider webs that I cut from the same pattern that I put in my layering piece behind the background, and I just kind of followed that shape. I'm gonna layer these below my first colored image. This was that jack-o'-lantern pail with the candy, and I colored those with Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers. So from here I just want to position these so that I know I'm getting them in the right spot. This piece will go up here behind the handle. You can let me know in the comment section if you call them pails where you are, or do you call them buckets? I'm curious to know what you call them where you live. So now I'm going to add my additional stamped images. So now I'm going to add my fun cat image. So remember when I said some of the stamps on the sheet could be colored and some could just be stamped? So I did that. I'm using my Memento ink for that. It gave me nice crisp lines and a good saturated image, so it was very clear. I went ahead and cut that out, just fussy cut around the image so that I could use it as an ephemera piece rather than just a stamped image. And I know that I want this cat to be peeking out from this side, so I'm gonna put that cat image here and stick it to the back of that spider web. And now I can add this as a unit right where I want it. It makes sense to me to have the handle of the pail straight up and down, so I'll just add that here. Then I have a second smaller cat image. This one is going to overhang the edge of my pumpkin pail, so I have put some of the dimensional spacer on one side and just regular double-sided adhesive on the other, so that I know this little critter will be flat against the background. I've prepared some flowers here. These are Little Birdie Craft flowers, and made my regular arrangement with black leaves, a little netting, some twine bows, and then this beautiful trim is the charcoal wrinkle ribbon from Really Reasonable Ribbon, and I will add that right up here to the corner. Whimsy Stamps has quite a lot of newer stamp sets out for the holidays, so you definitely want to go over and check that out. I will leave a link in the description so you can find those easily. And then I've created a second smaller arrangement, and that's just going to go down here. I've put only one side of the leaves on and the twine so that it will fit right down here on the bottom. And last but not least, I have some sequins here. I picked these out to be 3 different sizes so that I would have a nice arrangement with them. I'm going to put one of the larger ones on the background, and then a medium and a smaller one on the moon itself. And then I'll just use my Tombow to adhere those to the background. So that's all for day 10 of our 13 Days of Halloween series. If you enjoyed this project, don't forget to come back tomorrow for day 11. You can find links to all these Whimsy Stamp products in the description below, as well as links for all of our social media sites. Make sure you leave me a comment and a big thumbs up. If you're not already, I would love for you to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell notification so you'll be alerted every time we add new content. And as always, I'm wishing you a happy and productive day, and I thank you so much for watching. Bye!